This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to thank and acknowledge our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, LightBlindedFool, Green Man, Deyvis Ferreira, Margaret, Big C, Bennett Williamson, Dylan C, Hannah Green, Noralia, Geof Searles, Erik Reed, Greysin Ishara, Ashlee Bradley, Laura Lewis, and Helena Jacobsen. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Dorothy Hughes, Senia Christensen, Jackie, and Jenna Rohala to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really, truly could not make this work without you.
This is Uno Bloody Nemesta, and you're listening to the Goat Kissers from the Wheel Weaves podcast.
In this episode, we are talking about the second half of the prologue of Towers of Midnight.
Nailed it. Yes.
I hesitated on if there was a the.
Exactly. Yeah. No the. Towers of Midnight.
Right. Okay. Got it.
So we got the last three perspectives here for this chapter, and I am so excited because it's like hype train all the way to the last battle. It's basically starting. Like we're doing this thing.
We're here.
Right?
We're doing it.
That's what we're here for.
We got the things.
We have things happening.
We're going.
Oh my goodness.
We're getting things done.
So excited.
We're seeing things from people I definitely don't really want to see things from.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. And we
pretty miserable and terrible, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Except I'm going to just, name drop for a moment.
Okay.
When I was talking to Michael Kramer, the narrator
of course.
The audiobooks.
Yes.
He told me he really enjoys narrating Fain.
Yeah.
Because it's super interesting. And he talked about how physical it is to embody different characters. And I was like, that's cool.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially with this perspective.
Yeah, and I think I said that last time, but I wanted to say it again.
Okay, very cool. Very cool. All right. Let's jump into the fun fact because, as is tradition, we're going to talk a little bit about what's to come for this book. So we've got the male versus female perspectives breakdown here for you. And we're coming in at about 325,000 words. And out of that total, we've got the male perspectives at about 188,000 words, the female perspective at about 137,000 words. Then for the total viewpoints, about 60% are male and about 40% are female, but about 60% of the characters we see are female and only 40% are male. A little bit of a switcheroo there.
How about that?
It's good. Good breakdown. Okay, now you can take over.
Okay.
We can get into the actual chapter.
We can get into it?
Yes.
Okay, so the prologue is still called Distinctions.
Yeah, that didn't change.
Okay. And we are continuing. We're doing the last three perspectives. So we have Galad, Padan Fain, and some guy.
The guy, yeah.
It's the guy.
He's the guy. We'll get to him
He's the guy
last.
who does stuff, and I definitely can't pronounce his name.
Yeah.
So.
Malin Arin?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure it is. So let's enter in Galad's perspective, which had me on the edge of my seat because I thought at any moment he's running into Perrin's group and we were going to see him finding Morgaze in the camp and being like, Mom, you're not dead. So I was so pumped reading this.
So I just want to clarify.
And then turns out it was actually not interesting or exciting. Well,
come on.
Okay. It wasn't as interesting and exciting as I wanted it to be.
It's because you were waiting for
I was waiting for something way different, and so my expectations were way too high.
Okay, so I need to clarify here. So are you under the assumption that this is prior to the alleged Perrin Galad meetup that we saw? And it's not like after the fact somehow?
No.
Okay, I just want to clarify.
I just thought because he was like wandering around in a gross place, and then there's like bodies, and then it's like look, there's the aftermath of a battle. And I was
and
like,
he also does think about his dead mother. So
and he thought about his mother.
Right.
And I was super pissed off last book when we didn't get an on-screen finding out about Morgaze, but Tam just like dropped that bomb on us that like they knew now.
At least he knows.
Right, but I attribute that to Galad showing up and being like,
hey,
that's my mom.
Hey, Mom.
Yeah, So I was
Okay.
like, oh, we're going to see it.
Okay.
Great. So interesting. Nope.
Well, this is pretty positive then, because like if you like Galad, then if the Perrin bit is still to come, then hypothetically this
Well,
whole thing might not go so bad.
It was weird when we
Right?
got Perrin's perspective last time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this makes so much sense. We're going to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that have been good?
Sure.
Wouldn't that have been fun to
I like
see?
this too. I like this. A little bit of an
Yeah,
ambush.
this is good.
A little bit
but
of like
what
things
I
aren't
had
going
built
well.
up in my head, I have to say is better.
Yeah. Okay, it's different.
Okay, but you're going to have to convince me why this is still good.
Okay.
That's your job.
Well, because let's get into it then.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
So we have Galad, the Lord Captain Commander of the Children of the Light, and he's in the middle of leading his soldiers through a like gross swamp on the border of Gildan and Altara.
Yeah, in
or
the middle of
something. In the middle
nowhere
of
land.
basically nowhere.
Yeah, so I just got to do a quick recap here because the last time we really saw Galad was the prologue of
Was
Knife
that
of Dreams.
When he was killing Velda.
Yes, yeah. So that was the one-on-one with Valda because he found out what Valda had done to Morghese and he challenged him to the duel and killed him. And then it was the whole, did he really become the Lord Captain Commander
Right.
of the Children of Light? And then he ran away with the 7,000 children. And then those
Mostly
are the ones...
because he was like, we're gonna have to fight with the Aes Sedai.
And they didn't want to fight with the Shanshan.
Yes, also that too.
Because Asunawa clearly has teamed up with the Shanshan.
Yep.
So that was like the last real big time we saw him, and then we've heard about the progression of the White Cloaks. Like
Along the way.
Yeah, from like other perspectives.
Yeah.
And now here we are. He is leading the 7,000 rebels, or whatever you want to call them,
Right.
away
Okay.
towards Andor.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Well, he
And-
says that too, so.
Just for some perspective, if anybody forgot why I think Galad might be meeting up with Perrin, it's because I think it was Rand had a vision of Perrin with Galad.
Yeah.
They were like hanging out
Yeah.
together.
That's correct.
And so how and why and when and where and how and why.
Yeah. So
And
not
when.
not now, but probably maybe later.
Ugh.
And somehow.
Okay.
Okay. It's good. I'm glad we cleared that up.
Anyway, this swamp is so disgusting.
Yeah. How disgusting is it?
Nice, you did it.
Okay.
You get it. This is so disgusting that there are bugs everywhere and it smells.
Oh, that's not how that joke's supposed to go.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Well, that's it. That's all it is. It's match
Yeah.
game. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll work on that. We need a better stand-up routine.
I thought that was fine. Oh, is there supposed to be like a joke?
Yeah.
Oh.
How disgusting is it? And it's like, it's so disgusting that Padan Fain
Wouldn't even walk through
Yeah,
it.
something like that, you know?
Oh, that's
Right?
funny.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it now.
Mm.
Anyway, it's gross. And there are pages and pages of how gross it is.
Yeah.
But I kept reading and page turning.
Okay, but here's the
Excited.
thing. Here's the spooky thing, is that they're supposed to be out of the swamp by now.
But
But
it's still going.
It's still swamp. So maybe
It's
the maps
almost
are
like-
wrong, or maybe the world is doing the whole thing. You know how the tower was like shifting rooms?
Sure, this kind of seems like sabotage.
I mean, it's definitely for sure a little
It's
bit
like
of that.
1,000% that's what this is.
I mean, yeah, but we don't know that yet.
We
But
don't
you
know
know
that
it's more
yet.
spooky. What if the maps are changing?
They're
Whoa.
not. That's not what this is.
Oh, ooh.
Someone just lied.
What if there's ghosts in the
They're
swamp?
like, it's only 200 feet, and then it's like, actually,
Yeah, okay.
it's 2,000.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what it is.
That works too.
All right, so we're finally going to get into some stuff because we have Dane Bornhold, who's here with Galad,
Right?
and he's like, we gotta maybe go a different direction because this swamp sucks.
Okay. Do you remember who Bornhold is?
Yeah, he's Bornhold, Dane Bornhold.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you remember.
Daddy Bornhold's son,
Yeah.
who has a drinking problem,
Right.
and hates Perrin.
He hates him. Hate crazy psycho about Perrin.
And didn't help them in the Two Rivers.
Right.
Instead, was a dick.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah, I know who this guy is. Out of everybody,
Yeah.
for sure I know
Bornhold
Dane
said
Bornhold.
he'll see Perrin dead if the whole world has to burn for it.
Yeah, and Dane Bornhold was actually, we met him in Eye of the World, and he was the one who ran Splash Mud on.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Good callback.
Okay.
Look
I
at
like
my
it.
memory sometimes.
It's good sometimes. Okay. And then, yeah, so we got him,
Okay.
and then we get the whole map thing. It's like,
Yeah.
ooh, spooky map. Maybe
No.
it's wrong.
No.
No, it turns out not.
Anyway.
We get a recap on Galad's feelings about the last battle, because that is really important in this chapter,
Because it's coming.
Well, and it's the whole, like, we
It's on
have
its
to...
way.
It's his philosophy of we need to align with the people the White Cloaks don't traditionally want to align with, like the Aes Sedai and the Dragon Reborn, and
it's because...
I like it. I appreciate it.
Well, the reason is Galad isn't your traditional White Cloak. He's more like a cool White Cloak. He's not like a regular White Cloak.
He's a cool one.
He's a cool one.
His sister, actually, is an Aes Sedai.
Yeah, because he doesn't necessarily believe that all Aes Sedai are just dark friends.
Right.
And typically, White Cloaks, that's their motto.
Yeah, exactly.
Their motto is...
He just does
Aes Sedai, dark friend.
He does a little bit of heresy here and there.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a touch.
Yeah.
What's the big deal about that?
Oh, I guess it's a big deal, because we're going to see that.
I also read that as hearsay.
Oh, it's...
Heresy.
Heresy.
That's different.
Against the tenets of our faith.
That's different.
Heresy.
That's hearsay.
Yeah.
I thought that's what it was. I actually remember reading that word and thinking, is that how hearsay is spelled?
No. Okay.
Oh, I feel so stupid.
The heretic? You're...
Oh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. So let's get to
hearsay. That's hearsay.
That. Well, it might also
be hearsay. It's both.
Yeah.
Heresy and hearsay.
All right.
Oh, man.
Galad's inspirational speech.
Okay, well, no. First...
That's the other part of the news.
No. You're all over the place. Bornhald has come up because he's like, hey, listen, bud, everyone's having a bad time.
Yeah.
A real bad time. And then that's when Galad's like, okay.
Yeah.
I got a plan. Rousing speech.
Medium rousing. Rousing but efficient.
It's super inspirational.
It's efficient. He specifically
Call
thinks...
him Tony Robbins.
Don't want to keep it too long.
It's the best. He's a great inspirational speaker.
Sure, okay.
He's actually pretty good.
We're
ragging on him a little.
You're ragging on him.
Job.
I like Galad. I like him. Okay, here's the thing. I like the realism part where he's not shouting a speech to the 7,000 troops and they don't all hear him perfectly. There's literally people whose job it is to write down what he's saying and then go and read it to the people at the back who can't hear it.
I do like those specifics.
Yeah, I like that part.
It reminds me of when we were at the Golden Bowl.
Yes.
And there was a very definite mention about the acoustics.
Right.
And the physics behind how everyone can hear.
Turns out swamps not so good for...
Swamps suck.
Yeah, okay.
That's what we need in here. It's still too echoey.
It's a little bit... We're still working on it.
I really love this space.
Yeah.
It's looking good. But in terms of actual podcasting space, it's still sounding not great.
We'll get there in another one or two episodes. I think we'll be able to get it done.
But if we had a swamp in the middle of this room...
Yep.
That would do excellent wonders.
We have a 100-foot garden hose that I'm pretty sure could get from the backyard to here.
Right in here.
Just let the kids go to town.
Perfect.
You get a swamp real fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also mud. They got to bring the mud in, too.
They can do that, too.
Oh, they're so good at that. They're so,
okay.
so good at all that. Okay. Anyway, super inspirational speech. Everybody's into it. And then the group starts moving again.
Mm-hmm.
And Galad stays on the hillside so the men can see him as they pass by. We're all in this together.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
And they bust into song.
Right.
And it's cool.
Everybody is on board.
Nothing lifts morale like a good group musical number.
Absolutely.
I always say that.
I can see that happening. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then we
got that as a real possibility.
Yeah. We got Bayer here too, so he's overzealous as usual.
And loves musicals.
He would totally get into it.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember Bayer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except it annoyed me in the audiobook when just now they've decided to start calling him BR.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't like it.
BR.
BR. Like, no.
Okay.
Wrong. That is never how you've pronounced this, Michael. I'll let him know next time because we're best friends.
It's good. It's good. Okay. It's like, we recorded this like a decade ago.
Yeah, BR.
Anyways, okay, so we actually did get Bayer, who agreed to Galad anyways. I don't think we actually saw this on screen.
Yeah.
But that they're going... Or maybe we did. I can't remember. Anyways.
On page.
We're going to have to force up with the Aes Sedai and the witches. But he's still trying to, feel out what the actual strategy is, because Byers saying, oh, we're going to gather an army and tens of thousands, no, hundreds of thousands of people are going to flock to us, and we're going to have a gigantic force of the Children of the Light, and maybe we can take out the witches while we're at it. And then Galad's like, hey, no,
we said we might work with them.
You already agreed.
And then BR is like, maybe we don't have to, though.
Yeah, and Galad is still saying, like, no, we definitely have to. We're facing off against dreadlords
and then I
and
just
channelers.
Picture Byers just like, kicking rocks.
Yeah,
shoot.
Yeah, get him after. We'll get him after.
I'll try again next time.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, maybe.
Because he really doesn't want to do that.
Yeah. And then we also got one other guy here. So we got Byar, we got Bornhald, and then we've got ToM, who's also here. And ToM...
That's the guy who drives motorcycles with lots of lights on it, right?
That's Tron.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That's how I remember him.
Sure.
Tron.
Yes. He's the guy who actually caught Pater.
Oh.
Yeah.
Way to go, bud. You did it.
He did it.
You caught a real one.
Yes.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive white cloaking.
Yeah. He did it. He's the only one that we know of
That's
who
ever
actually
done that.
caught
A real one.
a real dark friend.
And it was a mistake.
It was a mistake, probably.
Not probably.
Yeah.
It was a mistake.
Well, no, okay, maybe, but Pater and his uncle were also pretty stupid, so, like, maybe they were actually doing a dark friend ritual.
They were just trying to get more gays
Anyways,
out.
okay, here's the thing. There's an issue up ahead, because it's a swamp.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a river. There's a little river, a little shallow stream.
Yeah.
And they got to trudge across it.
And then they do.
It takes about 2 pages.
It does. Yeah.
We got to take our armor off.
And then they keep going.
Yeah. And it's also one of those things where it's like, oh, we got to take our armor off. Maybe that's bad. But it's like, no, you just put it back on afterwards.
Yeah.
It's like a whole big long thing.
A whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's floating donkeys or something.
No, there's people. There's bodies.
And mules or something. Pretty sure there's animals and people.
Bodies.
And people.
The remnants of a battle.
Okay.
Which seem to point to the Malden battle. Because I don't actually know where they are. I don't actually know where Malden is. I know we're in and around there somewhere.
Nah.
And
it's not clear.
My brain, for sure, was like, yes. Yes, dead bodies floating down the river. I was excited for it.
Okay. Yeah, it's unclear. It's unclear what they are from.
It is so... Yeah.
Anyways, okay, so let's just keep going because we get through that.
Yep.
And then eventually all the White Cloaks get through too.
Yeah.
And that's when we get the plan.
Okay, we're going to go to Andor. That's it. That's the plan.
There's a little bit more to it. So we do know from this that Galad does not know that Elaine actually has the throne. That's not clear information. But he does know that he still has like his own personal estates in the northern Andorish region or whatever.
Yes.
Where they can still go.
Yeah.
Even if Elaine isn't the queen.
Okay.
But he's hoping.
That's true. Now, Galad does want to take responsibility for the children.
Yeah.
Because...
It's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do.
That's what Galad does.
Mostly because he doesn't think he should kill their leader and then refuse the leadership.
Right. That's not what you do.
Yeah. And he also thinks about how maybe they might definitely have to make an alliance with the Dragon Reborn himself.
Right. And we do get that he does believe that Rand is the real Dragon Reborn too. So again, there's a lot of positive mental attitudes that we see in Galad. Like I really appreciate where his head's at for a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, they will fight at the last battle.
Yeah, like he's leading them in a good direction. He's got a good solid head on his shoulders. It's not going to go very well really soon, but for now...
You know what though? I just actually am going to now say... I think Galad does a great job.
Okay.
In the rest of this. So let's get to it.
Okay.
Because we're really dragging this out.
Yeah. Just like the chapter does.
Okay. So an hour later, and then we see like a clock wipe.
Right.
Galad sees a scout returning, bringing news that the swamp is going to end.
Yes.
And it's all clear. Super great. But then they make it out of the swamp and it is not all clear.
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Technically they are like out of the swamp, but...
Well, no, that part was right.
That's right, yeah.
But it is not all clear.
Yeah.
Because there's an enormous force of troops that are starting to appear, and it's definitely Asunawa and the Questioners.
Yeah.
And
they got some of the White Cloaks, they got the Shanshan, they got the
We're definitely
yeah.
betrayed.
It's a betrayal.
Yeah. And then Galad turns to the scout and is like, "You're a traitor." And then Bartlett says, "You're the traitor."
Yeah. hits him back.
And Galad's like, yeah, I suppose you could see it that way.
Super reasonable.
Yeah, so reasonable. So reasonable.
Too
One of the
reasonable.
most reasonable characters that we actually have.
Yeah.
I would say.
Okay, and just as a troop breakdown here, so we understand what he's up against. So Galad does have about 7,000 troops here.
Yep.
But we've been marching for a while, from what it looks like, through swampy areas. Yeah. And we're facing off against about 10,000.
Which was part of the plan. They wanted them tired.
That was the plan. Yeah, that was a plan. The scouts, in fact, said, hey, let's go through the swamp to throw them off because we're not going to go, nobody's going to think we're going to go that way.
Yeah.
Huge double cross. Anyways.
Yeah.
Plus, there's a bunch of bowmen with the questioners, so it's bad news bears. Okay. We can't win. We can't win this fight. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to go talk to Asanawa.
Yeah, because we're going to parlay.
Which is talking.
It's pirate code for meeting up.
It's also French for talking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's pirate code. Okay. That's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just, okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
It's what pirates do when they want to meet.
Well, it's when they're like, okay, I feel like there's a little bit more meaning to it when it's piratey, because it's like kind of truce while we talk.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
It's pirate code.
I know, but it's not just, okay.
Okay.
What are we even arguing about? I don't even know.
Pirate code.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to parlay.
Yeah.
It's Galad versus Asunawa. And it's a battle of wits.
And Galad wins.
Yeah, he does. He definitely he gets him. He gets him good.
Lawyers him so hard.
So good on the
lawyers out here are probably like, go Galad.
Yeah.
Because he so lawyers him.
On the tenets of
so
white
good.
Cloakiness, Galad just sticks it to Asunawa.
Sticks it to him.
So good.
So good.
Yeah.
And
let's do a breakdown here.
Okay.
Do you want to be Asunawa or do you want to be Galad?
I want to be Galad.
Okay, all right.
I want to lawyer you.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, you're Asanawa. Go.
Okay, I got this. Oh, so you're forming ranks? Stand down or we're going to shoot you.
Oh, so you would ignore the rules of engagement? Where's your honor?
Dark friends don't get any honor.
Oh, so you're naming all 7,000 children as dark friends? The ones who were under Valda's command?
This is going badly for me. You have to submit yourself for questioning so you can prove you're not a dark friend then.
No, you.
Oh, no. You should surrender.
But first, no, I'm going to address your captains on either side of you.
Don't do that.
Hey, you. Do the children of the light surrender?
I'll be the other guy now. Heck no, we don't surrender.
Then take your offer and shove it up your butt, Asunawa.
Okay, so that's pretty good breakdown. Okay. I like the back and forth.
And he talks to another surrender too. Or another officer, I mean. And he's like, so what do we stand for then?
Well, no, that's the thing, because now it gets a little bit more in detail, because Asunawa is clearly not happy with how it's going.
I like that you wrote this whole thing out for us to do. That was fun.
Well, I didn't think we were going to do it that way.
We should do it more.
Okay.
We should do that more.
I feel like it could have gone better.
Dramatic reenactments.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I like that. Okay.
I really like that.
So here's the... You like that too much.
That was really good. I love it. I love it.
Okay. If there's more like that, I'll try to do a little bit more.
Yeah, that was fun.
Okay.
Is there more? Yeah, there's more. Let's do more.
Yeah, so here's the thing. So then Asunawa's like, hey, you're not the real Lord Captain Commander because the real one's dead. And the Galad's like,
no, hold on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I killed him. You were there, remember?
Yeah, but you drew on the powers of the shadow. I saw you standing in darkness even though it's daytime, and I saw the dragon's fang on your forehead.
Hey, other commander, is the shadow stronger than the light?
And then the other guy's like, of course it's not.
If Valda was honorable, could he have fallen to me in battle under the light?
No way!
If I were a dark friend, could I have killed the Lord Captain Commander himself?
Never gonna happen.
And Asunawa gets sick of talking
now.
Yeah,
he's like, okay, we're done. That went so bad.
Because he's getting so lawyered.
He's getting schooled. It's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes the shadow's super crafty.
Yeah.
He starts just like shooting out whatever he can think of.
Yeah, but here's the problem is when your dumb faith with the White Cloaks is like, oh, the Lord Captain.
I like how you clarified with the White Cloaks.
Well, because Asunawa has like a different faith, right?
Yes.
But it's just like the whole idea of the White Cloaks, like what Galad is saying, it doesn't make any sense at all. It's like you're telling me
that's what they believe, though.
But because they preach it, but like clearly Asunawa, like we don't actually really have any reason to think he's necessarily like a dark friend.
No,
I don't think we've ever seen anything that he's just like a bad dude.
Yeah,
granted,
well,
but
he's a questioner. Questioners are just kind of bad dudes.
He's just a bad dude, but Does he actually believe in the tenets of white cloakiness that he preaches? Probably not, because he's making up all these reasons why the things that they say aren't actually true. But Galad's just like, no, light always wins against shadow.
Yeah.
The Lord Captain Commander couldn't possibly lose.
Well, I think that
Like, it
what
doesn't make
Galad
sense.
is doing is just repeating their own rhetoric back to them.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, and it's working.
Yeah.
It's working really well.
Yeah.
Up until now, because Galad's going to try and, negotiate to not have the children fight the children.
And he's like, what happens if child fights child? I won't surrender, but I also won't attack. So, like, are you just going to slaughter us?
Yeah, can we, reunite?
Yeah, let's get back together.
No, we're not doing that, though.
No, he starts singing Taylor Swift. We are never getting back together.
Ugh.
Ever, 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 ever.
Never happening.
Never, ever.
Okay, well,
Yep.
that's disappointing then.
Well, then Galad makes a decision and says, all right, I'll submit to you on certain terms. Nobody gets submitted for questioning.
Right.
Everybody gets to join back with the White Cloaks. They're
Yeah.
not dark friends. They're fine.
Basically, you only get me, and you
Yeah.
gotta leave everybody else alone. And it's super honorable, and Galad's the best because he sacrifices himself to save all of his people.
The best, that's strong.
I mean, he's
He's the best?
He's the best of the White Cloaks. He's the most honorable person to sacrifice
I think that
himself
Geof
here.
from Bornhold was pretty good, but then he died.
I mean, he also turned the other cheek to a lot of slaughtered villagers and stuff all the time.
Oh, he did do that. Yeah.
He's not. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Galad's the best of the White Cloaks.
Okay, at least for now, probably.
I'll take that. That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, the deal now.
That's the whole thing.
That's the deal.
That's the deal. Yes, that's fine. And then they just beat the shit out of Galad.
Yeah, and they cut his armor and clothes off because you're like, you can't
now
have it.
He's naked, but he's so hot.
That's
It's
true.
actually probably worse that he's naked now
Oh no.
because he's so hot.
Maybe they just cut the uniform. He's still got his
No.
his
I think he
small clothes.
No,
on.
I doubt it.
Okay.
I really think they cut him off,
All right.
which is probably like, oh no,
Right.
we're all so attracted to him, and now he's naked.
Oh no.
That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Sure.
You know me.
Yeah.
Love people being naked.
You could spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, I've been reading too many of those spicy fantasy books as of late, and this one doesn't have enough.
And you're like, there's none of that in this scene.
So I just have to create it myself.
Sure.
He's for sure naked.
Okay, cool.
And he's also being beaten up, and he's unconscious, which I'm like, how are we going to get to Perrin now?
Right.
Like, let's bring it back to what actually matters.
Sure.
Finding out Morgase is queen.
Okay, so Morgase is not queen, number one.
Okay, was queen. Finding out Morgase is Morgase. What was her fake name? Magden?
Magden. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, nailed
Finding out Magden is Morgase.
Morgase is Magden now. I'm pretty sure she's taken that name.
No, because then now they know who she is.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so how are we getting to Perrin?
Maybe, somehow.
Yeah, okay.
I just look forward to finding out.
Okay.
How about we take a quick break? Because I am going to need more wine before we do the next perspective.
Sure.
Okay, so we are back, and we are going to switch perspectives, and I only medium want to talk about this.
Yeah, it gets weird real fast.
Oh my gosh, it is so weird.
Yeah, we have to talk about a few things. It's a very short perspective from Padan Fain.
We haven't seen Padan Fain in a very long time.
Yeah.
Since Farmadding, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And even that appearance
Yeah.
felt like, whoa, where'd you come from?
Well, it was also pretty weird because we got to see Padan Fain doing some weird new cool abilities.
Where he could...
Yeah.
What was it? Did he make the people look like someone else?
He was projecting images,
or projecting
yeah.
people who weren't really there?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Yeah, basically that. And now we've got this super weird newfound power because Padan Fain said basically two things. Number one, I got some cool new tricks up my sleeve, and they're getting cooler. And then the other thing...
From where? How and why?
He's a weird amalgamation of a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, it's like the Mordeth... Because Mordeth clearly had some, weird powers. Right?
Yeah. He's got the whole, Mordeth, Mashadar type,
I feel
Black Wind,
right,
Padan Fain.
because he sort of absorbed that.
He's absorbing a whole lot of weirdness.
A lot of weird evil magic.
Yeah, and he isn't even really Padan Fain. And I mean, that kind of comes through in this perspective, because it's like the creature that was Padan Fain, the creature that was Mordeth.
And then I was like, get a name already. And then like later in the perspective, he's like, I'm going to need a new name.
I'm going to need to pick a new name soon.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, we got to...
At least he's not influencing like leaders anymore.
But, I mean, we've also got bigger problems, because he also said, like, Rand al'Thor is mine, and we got to talk about the end of his perspective when we get there. But let's start it, and then we'll go through it.
And then we'll do the middle, and then we'll do the end.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so Padan Fain is having an excellent time.
He really is, yeah.
Except here's the deal. Padan Fain, or whoever you are,
right.
Pick one. Either you have no emotions other than hatred.
I do love it.
Or you have a bunch of emotions.
Yeah.
Like joy and ecstasy and love and life.
Yeah.
If you have no emotions other than pure hatred, probably you can't feel
He's
joy.
part of this musical, and he's singing a song about all of his hatred, but he's loving it.
But
he's
at one point,
he's
he's like, I don't feel anything. There's no emotion left other than hatred. And then like the next
and it's lovely
sentence,
and beautiful and amazing,
he's like, and
fantastic.
I love it so much. I was like, that's emotions, dude.
You know what? I don't think he had formal education. He doesn't know how to express himself very well.
He really does not. Okay, so he's walking somewhere in the Blight.
Yep.
The sky is black. It's tempest.
It's a tempest.
And I wanted to say something about this tempest business that you're not going to expect. So, I was unpacking all of our shot glasses, which, by the way, no shot glass casualties from transferring from one house to another.
Wow.
I did an excellent job, very careful. Can't say the same for like my cocktail glasses and wine glasses and other things that I packed.
Yeah.
However, shot glasses, every single one made it.
Amazing. Good job.
And as I was unpacking them, that was sent to us, and it features a logo for a type of botanical absinthe. Absinthe? How do you say it? Absinthe?
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, it's called Tempest.
Yeah.
Tempest Soul Botanical Absinthe. And for sure, this was sent to us before I started reading the Brandon Sanderson books. Mm-hmm. And I didn't get the joke, and I didn't quite understand why it was being sent to us. I was like, that's a cool thing. Yeah. I guess.
Okay.
But now, it's funny. We have a shot glass that says Tempest.
It is funny. Okay.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
Like, that's very funny. And I just needed to appreciate it
more.
more.
How funny is it?
It's so funny. It's so good.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
really
so
got to work on the stand-up routine.
It's so good that I noted it.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, okay, back to Fain. Back to Fain.
Okay.
So, he loves that he hates everything.
Yeah, which is a feeling.
It's an awesome and violent feeling. It's really good.
And now the plan is to kill Rand al'Thor.
Right.
And then the Dark One.
Cool. I like the fact that Rand is the only one who's got this crazy idea to kill the Dark One.
And you know what? Is Fain on our side?
I mean, he's like third party, right?
Yeah, I know, but if he wants to kill the Dark One, then he's on our side.
Except that his number one priority is not the Dark One.
Right.
That's the number two priority. So...
Anyway, he's got the ruby dagger, in case you forgot.
Right.
He loves cutting his fingers.
Yeah, he's holding it very unsafely.
Yeah, he's doing the weird paper cut between the fingers thing.
Yeah, it's just like
dagger.
The worst.
And
ooh, don't like that.
It's dripping blood.
Yeah.
And he likes it. It's a black sky, and there's red blood, and he's weird.
Black and red and black and red.
Which reminds me of Moradin, Ishamael.
Okay.
And also
that
other guy.
It's the color...
Taim.
What's it? Color
Whoever
theory?
Taim is, actually.
Color theory.
Black and red.
That's right. There's a thing about that, probably. Like
is
colors... There? Well, color theory is like a thing where it's like colors mean stuff. I don't really know much about it, clearly.
Okay.
Doing a bad job, but probably something like that.
Uh-huh. I thought red meant love.
I mean, it could. That's the whole thing about color theory.
But black probably means death.
Maybe.
Probably.
Okay.
That's I don't know. I'm just making that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you're very good at color theory.
I'm not yet. I have to learn it.
Yeah. All right, but here's the thing. Here's the little tidbit of information we get here. He gets to the bottom of the hill.
He just killed a big worm.
Yeah. But do you remember? We actually know worms. Some stuff about worms.
Yeah. We got almost attacked by one.
Tell me everything you know about worms.
They're big and scary and fast and weird and gross. And hard to kill. And they only live in the Blight.
Yeah. Okay, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
We also got a line during...
They got big teeth, too.
Yeah, well, we got a line during a conversation between Samael and Grendel in Lord of Chaos.
About how Aegonor created worms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he did
And
all the
other
shadow
gross
spawn.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. But also, they're called Jumara.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they are talking about it and they say, did you know that there are Jumara loose in the Blight, full grown, though they'll never transform now? They call them worms.
Oh, so they're like caterpillars.
Well, we don't really know.
And they transform into something majestic,
Beautiful
probably.
butterflies. You have to assume. But also in either
They're
world,
probably just big gross moths.
maybe that'd be so funny because
Oh,
like we don't
moths are
actually have
gross.
don't have any more information.
Yeah, moths are stupid, ugly butterflies.
But here's the theory now, working off of that.
Entomologists everywhere hate that I just said that.
That moths are disgusting.
Yeah.
They're the worst.
Especially the big ones.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Okay, here's the
And
thing though.
they're so stupid.
You gotta focus.
They fly right into the fire.
Okay, but that's
They
the
fly
point.
right in there.
That's the new theory that we're going to formulate right now. So in Eye of the World, Lan and Moraine, they're going to the Blight for the eye. And we did learn that worms are afraid of whatever creatures live in the high passes of the Blasted
Did you mean
Lands.
to say creatures?
Creatures, yeah. They're afraid
What
of whatever...
word did you just say even?
Creatures.
Creatures?
Yeah.
Creature.
They're afraid of whatever creatures live in the high passes of the Blasted Lands.
Okay.
Okay. So what kind of creatures are in the Blasted Lands that worms are afraid?
Big birds.
Big, probably. You'd have to assume.
No.
Or big, like,
It's
candles
geese.
or something. It's geese. It's just a bunch of Canadian geese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because birds eat worms.
Right.
Okay, now that's my nightmare.
That's the only explanation that makes any sense.
Oh my god. Blight birds?
Blight birds. Huge ones, probably.
Ugh.
All right.
Too scary for me.
Okay.
No thanks.
I just want to go over that fun little piece
Anyway,
of information.
Fain just killed one.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Now, we have mist that starts trailing around.
Yeah. Licking at his heels. It's
Okay.
a part of him. It clearly
twists
works for
around
him.
It works for him. It's probably an extension of Mashadar,
Yeah.
right?
But I mean, we also had when Rand got attacked in Padan Fain, we had the whole mist
it
monster.
was misty.
Like mist fog monster, like whatever you want to call it. So,
Ooh,
like,
there's lots of mist.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems like maybe he's got more
He's
power
had that
control.
for a while.
Yeah, but it seems to have leveled up a little bit too, based on how he can control this and also like zombify the Trollocs. It's kind of what we're getting here too.
It's very White Walker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But we don't take shots for Game of Thrones, so suck it.
Yeah. Never gonna get me. You know, we got a book and a half left. We could might as well start. You know.
No.
Okay. No. Okay. So, anyways, here's the action part because we got some Trollocs and a Murdraw coming around the corner here.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they're like, ooh, a person, we want to eat you.
But
Because they don't know who Fain is.
Right, but they're also scared of worms.
Right. But now that there's no... So here's the thing. Worms eat people.
Yeah.
So if there's a people here, then there's no worm here. So the Trollocs and the Fae are like, oh, okay, we'll just go and eat this guy.
Yeah, and don't forget the side note about how Fain knows that people taste better than Trollocs taste.
Well, obviously he's eating people.
What? How is that obvious?
I mean...
I didn't know he was eating people
Come
and
on.
Trollocs.
We had to assume.
Why did we have to assume that?
He does all the weirdest, grossest things. Like, you'd have to... Like, that's not the part you should be shocked about.
Anyway,
here.
that part shocked me.
What? Unbelievable.
Well, and worms prefer people to Trollocs too.
Apparently.
Because they taste better.
Yeah.
Trollocs taste bad.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
Oh.
I get it. Would you rather eat a person or a weird half chicken,
I
half
told you, I don't even
bird
want to
big
talk
man?
about this
Like-
perspective. We're spending way too much time on
Okay,
this.
here's the thing. So the Trollocs rush Fain, but then the Murdraw like hangs back and doesn't attack because he probably senses that there's something super
well,
weird.
Anyway, the mist strikes.
Yeah. Gets him. Gets all, and it gets the Fade in the neck because the Fade literally tries to run away. And I don't know if we've ever seen a Fade run away out of fear.
Well, and then we get a callback to some nails.
Yeah.
Because Fain is kind of upset that the Murdraw dies so fast.
Right.
And he wishes he could have used his nails.
No playtime.
Not his fingernails.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I don't think he has nails here either. That's also part of the problem.
Oh, I thought he said he hoped he could put his nails to good use. Now he can't
maybe
put
he
his
does.
nails to good use or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And then that's just a callback to nailing the Fade to the door.
Exactly.
With nails.
With nails. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And a hammer.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how you would do that.
In case we weren't sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless he has a nail gun. Think he's got a magic nail gun? Like the mist nail guns? Like he doesn't actually hammer him in?
Yeah, I could see that being a possibility.
Yeah,
okay. You know, the Mist just wants to be helpful.
Sure.
Okay, so the Trollocs start screaming, they start boiling. They don't die necessarily. It's kind of a little bit unclear, because then Fain keeps moving through the blight, but then the Trollocs all, like, the corrupted Trollocs get up and start following him.
Yeah.
So there's
and they're like zombies, but they will attack with a lot of...
With more bloodlust, like they're even worse now. It's just all around.
What's the word? Fervor?
Yeah.
A lot of fervor.
Yeah.
More of that.
Yeah.
When it's time to attack.
Yeah.
So we just get a little hint there.
Yep. So that's like he's leveled up his weird abilities and he's heading through the blight. Now this is the really important part we got to talk about now.
Okay, because he knows where Rand is?
Well, here's the thing. He says the hunt for Althor has come to an end because you don't hunt something when you know exactly where it's going to be. You just show up to meet it.
All right, great. Another thing for Rand to deal with.
Well, yeah, but like what's the implication here?
Is it the last battle?
Well, like where is Fain going that he knows Rand is going to show up? He's going to go meet Rand somewhere to kill him.
Or try to.
I mean, he seems pretty confident here.
Yeah, that would be a horrible ending for Rand. If we're if Fain just like shows up as like dead. We're like, oh, we waited 13 books for Fain.
Fain gets you know,
get you?
Full circle there.
Then you don't even make it to the last battle.
Shoot. Yeah, but I mean that's the thing. Fain,
it's got to be the last battle.
Yeah, but what does that mean? The last battle is an event, if you will.
Yes,
it's not a location.
Yeah, but Rand is sure he needs to go to Shale Ghul for the last
So
battle.
Shale Ghul is where you're saying
for the last battle.
Okay, I want to be clear what your thoughts are on where the meeting.
I don't have clear thoughts.
Fain's going to the location.
The only clear thought I had was Galad was going to find his mom, and it was wrong.
Yeah.
I have no clear thoughts.
It's good. Okay. All right. You know what?
I wish I had more. I wish I could just say things and predict things. It's like bothering me that
Okay, what's his new name going to be?
Ooh. Well, we had Mordeth and we had Ordeeth.
We did. Are we keeping on that trend?
I think it's going to be...
Blormeath.
That's what I was... No. I was about to say Blordeeth.
Nice.
I was really going to say Blor. I really was.
Yeah.
But now I can't. So now it's going to be Flordeath.
Flordeath. I like it. Okay.
I
think you're onto something there. Mm-hmm. It's good.
The FL sound is the funniest of all sounds.
Is it?
Yeah.
Thought it was Muck Duck.
No. R is the most menacing.
Yeah.
But FL, fool, is hilarious. So funny. Okay. All right. Well.
Okay.
That sucks for Padan Fain.
No, it's good for Padan Fain. He loves it.
Okay, it sucks for Rand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
just meant that all sucked, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So it sucked for me?
Yeah, it sucked for you.
Padan Fain.
Again, I want to be clear.
Like, ugh, this guy.
Padan Fain's having a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did he get that dagger back from? The White Tower?
Yeah.
From Elida?
No.
Didn't he meet with Elida?
Yeah. Elida didn't. It was in the storeroom.
Oh, he stole it back.
Yeah.
And he killed somebody.
Well, Alviarin showed up.
And Alviarin showed up.
Alviarin
oh my god, it's a whole scene.
Yeah, it was a whole thing.
We saw him get it back.
We saw that happen.
I forgot.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Well, there's so many things to remember.
It's not that much. Come on. Okay, let's get to the next perspective. Because this one is really good. This is like one of my favorites.
Do you have any more questions to ask me about Fain? Any leading questions so I could actually make a prediction? Because I have no idea what's happening.
Okay. What's his next cool new power gonna be?
Oh no, is he gonna have another one?
I don't know, but maybe.
He's gonna learn to teleport in a different way than gatewaying.
Nice! You know what? That's pretty creative. I like that.
And maybe he can fly. Or mind influencing. But that's just compulsion. We already have that.
Yeah, but like he's not a channeler.
That's true. He's got a lot of crazy skills.
He does.
For someone who has no magic.
Yeah. Well, he's an amalgamation of a lot of evil stuff happening all in one body.
He's a weird dude.
Yeah, weird dude.
Crazy dude.
I wouldn't trust him.
Okay, so I'm saying Fain is gonna fuck something. We're gonna be doing so good.
He's gonna ruin something.
He's gonna so ruin something.
He's gonna pop up like right when we're heading up the mountain to destroy the ring, and he's gonna pop up and jump on someone and bite a finger off of somebody else.
Oh no!
It's gonna be just a whole deal.
Why do you want to take a shot so bad?
Oh man!
Why do you want to do it? Can we use the
I appreciate that you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well that's an easy one. Okay, fine. Hand me the Tempest shot glass.
Okay.
Because they're just right here behind us now.
Yeah, they are. You're closer.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
okay.
Plus we got to basically take a shot for our homeboys in the next perspective here. Because I can get a prediction from you at the end of that one, but like Are they making it out of the next perspective alive?
I don't want to talk about that right now.
Okay. Well, let's just take a shot then.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, yep.
That's very nice. That's the peach crown.
Well, that's peach crown royal.
Yeah.
It actually was okay.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
That was good. I just like these Tempest shot glasses now.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. What's happening?
Well, we gotta go into the next perspective here.
Okay, let's do it. Malin Arin.
Malin Arin.
Malin Arin.
Malin Arin.
Rye?
Yeah.
Ray?
Rye? Doesn't matter.
Anyway, this guy's a blight guy.
He's the blight guy. That's what they call him.
And to answer your earlier question, no. No one's making it
Okay.
out. The sun will make it out.
Oh. Okay, that's nice. That's a nice thought.
I have to.
Why?
Because he's...
Okay.
He's a man now.
He is. He's literally sacrificing
As
himself to die with his father. Okay.
As I was reading
man.
it, I was like, Brett loves this.
I love this
I could
so
tell.
much.
This reminded me of the Blight farmer guy. Or the Borderlands farmer guy.
I'm going to tell you.
You love Borderlands. Are the Borderlands your favorite?
I do love them, but here's what I love.
They must be.
I'm going to tell you what I love. I love the fact that I can get emotionally connected to a character
who I've never met before.
We've never met him before. We're probably never going to see him again.
Probably, definitely,
We get his backstory.
He's going to die.
We get his hopes and dreams and aspirations and his children, and we get some heartfelt moments.
In less than 10 pages, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, so you can attach me to this character and then be like, yeah, he's fucking dead.
Yeah.
And he's going to commit his life to this cause. Like, it's so powerful.
Yeah,
like, I just love it.
That if you don't tell me that the Borderlanders are your favorite people, then you are wrong and have to reevaluate your life. Because every single perspective we get in the Borderlands or with the Borderlanders or with anybody, you love Kadir. Like, you just love
Kadir?
No. What's his name? Bashir,
yeah.
not Kadir. Sorry.
Right.
Bashir. You love Borderlanders.
Yeah.
You love them.
Yeah,
They're your favorite.
I do. Have
you ever noticed how much you love them?
And to be fair, well, no, not really.
Is this
but to
new
be fair,
for you? Because I'm noticing a trend here.
I need to reevaluate my life for other reasons. But also, I should focus on the whole who do I love the most in the series, and it might be the Borderlanders. Yeah.
I think you love the Borderlanders. Like, love them.
Maybe.
They are your favorite for show.
Okay. All right, let's do this then.
Okay, fine.
Commander of Heath Tower.
Of course. Right at the edge of the Blight.
Yes. Which is interesting. We get a little tidbit here. There's lots of world building here. But apparently, way back in the day, this tower, you could barely even see the Blight.
It was so far.
So
miles
far away. And now it's like right up to the base of the tower.
Right up there.
Oh, it's bad.
To the point where you can see gross trees and stuff.
Exactly. Okay.
Now, he's shuffling through some reports and doing super commander type stuff.
Yeah, we got to go through supply reports. We got to go through the list of new soldiers who are here. There's a merchant who's like showing up here because he's going to do trade. And it's like the whole Candor thing because it's like, oh, they like to, hustle people, I guess. We've heard that before.
Sure.
It's good, but there's a merchant. But most importantly, there's a reminder.
Keemlin.
Yeah.
It's his son, and it's almost his 14th name day, and that's when he becomes a man.
Yeah.
He gets a rite of passage, and it's very bar mitzvah-esque.
Yeah, and in 3 days he gets to give his father's sword to his son. It's fantastic. I love it.
Okay, so we're going to get into some things that are happening now.
Yes, and also for the record, in the tower there's only about 250 soldiers at this tower, and it's one of the defensive towers along the Blight.
Okay. Now, this dude is going to leave his office, go up the staircase, and he is met by...
Jargon.
Some guy.
Jargon. We get a backstory for this guy, too. He's killed a bunch of Trollocs. It's great.
Of course he has, because he's... that's his job.
Yeah.
His job is killing Trollocs.
And he's good at it. That's good.
That's great news.
Yeah.
Now, turns out we have received a flash from a different tower.
Yeah, so as just like a highlight of how this system works, we've got towers across the Borderlands, and also going south back to the capitals.
Are the beacons lit?
They're trying to.
Oh, there's such an obvious
and we have a beacons are lit.
I know.
Oh my goodness, that's fantastic.
That's pretty much the only reason I know.
Let's wait because we're gonna do this one when the beacons are lit.
Okay.
And it's more in a more dire situation. We'll do it at the end.
Okay.
Do it at the end.
Okay.
Okay. because that's the thing. This is the
Because
reporting
I
system.
hesitated, and you're like, "What's wrong with the recording?" And I didn't want to say it, but then I should have to say it.
Yeah, because I
to.
mean, this isn't necessarily just like a flaming beacon. This is a mechanism of mirrors and lights.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little bit more advanced than just like fire, and I appreciate that.
Okay. Anyway, we're wondering if it was a mistake.
Yeah.
And turns out, no. Everyone
Yeah.
at that tower is like definitely dead.
Okay, here's the thing too, because I for sure have like in my own mind like this little side story of their so this tower, Arena Tower, where they got the flash from. You have to imagine like that's the emergency signal. Like, oh my God, we're done. Like, game over, man, game over.
Yeah.
Because they're northwest, so they're into the Blight. It's a Blight tower. It's in the actual Blight.
Right, and probably at one point it wasn't in the Blight. And now I'm just thinking to myself, wouldn't it be helpful if maybe there was some sort of magical woman who dedicated herself to fighting battles?
Yeah, to be stationed at each one of these
To
towers.
be stationed at these towers? Or maybe more than one?
Maybe multiple at each
Maybe
tower.
multiple,
That'd
and
be
then
pretty cool.
maybe we wouldn't have to be overrun and have all these people just die.
Yeah, you would think so.
I mean, just spitballing here.
You know what? I blame the Black Aja.
You know what? Me too. And I also blame the Green Aja.
Also that.
Because they suck.
Because even if the Black Aja has infiltrated you, you should be able to...
You should just go.
Yeah.
You should just be doing your fucking job.
Yeah.
You're not. You're doing nothing. You do nothing.
Yeah.
You sleep
You have
with your
none
warders.
job. You've got none
You
job.
have so many warders who could be there to help fight.
Right.
That's the point.
Well, here's the
That's
options.
the point.
Here's the options. You go and put your life in danger on the borderlands, or you spend time in a castle with your piles of money just banging your warders.
You know what?
Pick one. Pick one. And you're
Well-
going to tell me you're going to go to the
Well, I probably wouldn't pick green. So
Okay.
I probably wouldn't be like, yeah, battles.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm a yellow.
Well, here's the
I'm
thing.
just healing.
Here's the thing. They're not battles.
Although yellows could be there too.
That's true. Healing all these people.
You know what?
That's a thing.
Huh.
Yep. Okay, so anyways.
Yeah, what's happening here?
Yeah, so here's the thing. Arena Tower sent a flash basically saying SOS, like this is really bad. We're overrun. And then Malin Arin says, okay, well, we should send a message to them to see if it's a mistake, and also send a message to another tower close
tell
by
them
to
that
see
this happened.
to see if there's anything funky going on that they've seen.
Yeah.
And
But
then
we should also take this seriously.
yeah,
Yeah.
because and then Jargon basically says like we've already done both those things, so that means that
And
they've done that.
Malaraner Ring Dong says,
Yes.
I knew you would
Ye-
have done that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to do it again, but here's the issue: is that means they've sent the message. There's already been no response back yet, and there should have been a response back, which means both of these towers have probably been overrun,
Yes.
and only one of them was able to get out the emergency signal about
In
this.
time.
Like it's so bad. This is
Yeah.
a catastrophe already in the making.
No.
Yeah. So the system of towers that go back, you're supposed to flash backwards south to go in like a line to Chachin, so the capital, so they know that, and here's the issue too.
Tell me the issue, please. You're pointing at me now, like
Yeah,
you're really
I'm
into
gesturing.
this. Okay, and tell me more about how the Borderlanders aren't your favorite.
Well,
Okay.
where are the Borderlanders right now? Not heckin' here. Where's the giant Borderlander army?
Yeah, not here.
Not
in stupid
here.
formatting. What are you even doing? It's almost
Oh,
like you're
man.
run by a dark friend or something. Oh my god.
Whoa!
That makes so much sense.
That now they're being invaded and none of the army is here?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh shit.
So here's the thing about
Ooh,
having...
you know who's a dark friend?
Who?
That queen.
Which queen?
Tenobia.
Like Fael's cousin?
That's the only one of the Borderlanders leaders that I can remember.
For sure. Yeah.
What if they're all dark friends?
I mean, it's
There's
possible.
for sure dark friends in there. What if? No.
Okay, let's keep going.
It's a Forsaken. It's Demandred.
That'd
Didn't
be-
I say?
Well-
Didn't I say Demandred?
Yeah, well,
with the
Demandred was like,
Borderlands?
my armies are like
Ready to
positioned
move?
and ready to go.
Positioned and ready to go away from the Blight. I was right.
Yeah. Were you right?
Yeah.
You don't even know what's happening.
No, but now I know.
Okay.
Now I know. I just
Okay.
figured it out.
Okay.
No, Brett, I just figured it out. I
This
did.
is a
Right
catastrophe.
now. No, I just did. Right now, I
Yeah.
figured it out.
Yeah.
That's definitely where Demandred is.
Well, I mean-
Demandred is Tenobia.
I love it. I love it.
Or one of those others.
Why
in there.
Why does he have to literally be one of them? Why can't he just...
Because that's what they do.
Sometimes.
That's what one of them did once.
At least once.
At least.
At least one time that happened. Okay.
No.
But I mean, that's the issue with Dark Friends invading with this whole last battle.
Like, pay more attention
so
to
much
the
shenanigans.
prediction I'm making, because I think this one is really good.
Yeah, no, Demandred's Tenobia.
Is it bet-worthy?
Yes.
Is it?
I accept. I
You
accept your
accept?
challenge.
Okay, Demandred, in some way,
Yeah, okay.
is controlling the
Borderlander
Borderlander army.
Okay. I like it.
100%.
Love it. Okay,
Without a doubt.
What's the bet?
I win.
Ice cream and whiskey again?
I mean,
Ice cream cake
classic.
and whiskey? Classic bet? Okay.
I really did like when there was an ice cream cake. That was great.
Yeah.
I haven't had one since then.
That's true.
Then I would like another.
It's about time.
Yeah. In the next year.
Yeah.
I would like an ice cream cake, and I'd like to be right about this.
Yeah. The funny thing is, you as an adult with $20 in a car, you could go and get
I
ice
do have
cream.
access to a Dairy Queen. I do.
$20 an ice cream, a car, and a Dairy Queen. That's how you get that. Okay.
If I'm wrong, I will hand make an ice cream cake from scratch to be even better somehow.
I prefer the whiskey.
Okay, I'll just
That wasn't very convincing. Like, I don't even know how ice cream cake is made. Besides,
I'd make it so good.
We don't have an ice cream. Do you need a machine to make ice cream?
No. I would use ice cream. I would just use your
ice
favorite
cream
ice creams, and I would just like
put
make
it into a cake pan or something.
I would make it. You don't even have to know how I would make it. You don't even understand cooking. You don't
I'll
even
take
get
the whiskey.
You don't even understand football, Marge. Okay, fine.
Okay.
I've always thought that I would like to make an ice cream cake. That's all. Okay, you can have whiskey, fancy whiskey.
Cool, fancy whiskey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the Wayne Gretzky one.
Is that fancy?
Yeah, it's expensive. That's how I know it's fancy.
Oh, let me tell you something about whiskey.
I've seen it, and I've almost bought it for you before. And then I'm like, that's too expensive. That's how you know it's good.
Yeah.
Okay, Demandred, controlling the Borderlanders.
Okay, I feel pretty confident about this.
There's got to be something, right?
In some way, shape, or form. So we're not going to limit this to, like, he's dressing up as Tenobia.
Although I would love that.
That would be great. That would be great.
That'd be excellent.
Okay.
That'd be the best drag show I've ever seen.
Love it. Okay.
Okay. There are serious things happening here.
Right. Yeah, it's not good. Okay, so let's get to it here. So now Malin Arin's going to check the roster because in addition to the system of mirrors, the contraptions to send messages, we also have good old-fashioned boys who are small of stature and ride horses quickly.
Yeah. Jockeys? Are they jockeys?
That's what they are.
They're just jockeys.
They're just jockeys. That's
They're just
what it
jockeys.
is. Okay, so he checks the messenger roster, and then Jargon checks it, and turns out that Keemlin, Malin Arin's son, is like next on the list. So we're going to need to send several messages southward to warn the capital about what's happening, or at least the next tower back, right? And he writes out the message and hands it over to Jargon, and he has like a feeling of relief, and I really appreciate this because he's like, at least my son's going to be safe, but it's also honorable because I'm not just like putting his name higher up on the list to save my own son.
Yes.
He's like legit next on the list, and messages do need to be sent. This is part of the protocol.
Yeah, so he's basically just like, get my kid out of here. And then we get a bunch of just like running around getting ready for a battle.
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. I've created kind of like this side extra story because I love this so much, where we're in like this devastating situation. We've got towers around us in the Blight that are supposed to be guarding the Blight, like the Borderlands. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
And we've got these two towers that have fallen, and the message that Malin Arin writes out is that Tower Rena and Farme are not responding to flash messages, possibly overrun or severely hampered. Be advised, Heath will stand. So it's pretty inspirational because it's like we're going to do our very best to stand. But also, when these other two towers that are guarding the Borderlands...
I bet they also thought they would stand.
And it's like when they go dark, here's the issue, is I've kind of created this story in my mind where the flash that came from Rena... and there's no response. It was clearly like a last-ditch effort to get a message to the next tower to let them know, like, shit's going down right now.
Yeah.
And you have to imagine it was some sort of, like, heroic act of a soldier who had to fight off some other people and like get this out right before he died. It's just like a last ditch, all or nothing kind of like give his life to send this message.
Yeah.
Because at this point, like you'd have to imagine too that Dark Friends are like all hands on deck. And maybe like how would you overthrow a tower before a message could be sent? You have the bad guys are in the walls. It's kind of like a Faldara situation all over again. Who's opening up the dog gate?
Yeah.
Frickin' Ingtar. Right? Maybe you got guys on the inside working those
For sure you do.
mechanisms, and somebody had to get that message out.
Yeah.
So it's just, things are so bad right now.
That's cute.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, you're cute for creating that story.
I want to see the story of Rena Tower. I want just like a one-off little...
Of all the things.
Yes,
Write it
but that's
yourself.
what I want.
Write it yourself. Write it.
No.
Then.
Me no good with words.
No, you are
Me need
great.
other people to write,
You're
and I
great
read.
with words.
No, I read. I know,
you
right?
You took the advanced nerdy lit classes in high school.
Because I like to read.
Yeah, but you could write.
Okay.
If you tried.
Do reports? I can do reports really well.
I feel like maybe one day, you have a whole thing. I
Okay.
feel like one day you could write.
Here's the thing, too. Okay, systematic elimination of watchtowers along the Blight.
Uh-huh.
That's supposed to be warning about people about the last battle.
It's the beacons.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And it's like, this is like, if you weren't sure if the last battle is starting,
This
like
is
the
it?
last battle. Well, okay, well, let's get at the next part here.
Okay.
You gonna tell me that the last battle is not starting now?
Well, no, sure, okay.
It's not just a one-off battle. It's
I don't know.
overrunning of
here's
the
the
entire
thing.
world here.
Here's the thing. I don't know.
I would argue.
Don't, listen, I don't make assumptions around here.
Well, I would
Actually,
argue that
yes,
the
I
last
do.
battle started 20 years ago.
I make wild assumptions
You do.
about a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
However, how am I supposed to differentiate between random Trolloc attack and last battle starting?
I don't know, overwhelming horde of Trollocs that are taking out watchtowers along the Blight.
Why
So
weren't
many...
they doing that earlier?
Why weren't they?
Yeah.
Because it's go time.
Oh, and it wasn't before?
No, it was almost go time.
Okay.
Now it's go time.
All right.
Right.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Anyway, is it time for the kid to show up?
Well, first Malin Arin watches as he sees the three riders galloping away.
Yeah.
And he thinks that one of them is his son.
And it's not.
And it's not, because then he starts doing the orders, and then he turns around and freaking Keenan's
And his son's here.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the hell are you doing here? You're supposed to leave. And the guy was like, well, sir,
Yeah, because he's still a soldier.
this other guy is 10 pounds lighter than me, and that makes a difference. And he rides faster, so I let him go in my place.
But also, his mother has already lost 4 sons to the Blight, and he's the only one left of the family, so he thought that maybe he shouldn't let him die.
I love this kid. He's my favorite
I know,
character.
he's a favorite.
He's my favorite character in the whole
fantastic.
series.
Yeah.
He's the best.
I love it.
Him and Bella.
Yeah.
I love him.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's like the character development is, you get a snapshot of the life.
This is a really good kid.
Yeah.
What a good kid.
What a good kid. And it's also like he knows that his dad's going to die here, and like he wants to fight with his dad. Like, I get that's so, you know, it's wonderful.
Yeah, and then that's so sweet because his actions have proven that he is in fact a man, and he gets the sword.
Go get the sword.
Go get my sword.
And there's a whole thing, and it's such a nice
It's
passage.
so sweet.
Yeah, because it also
and
really
he's like,
speaks...
my name day isn't for 3 days, and it's like, no, you've done it. You've proven it.
Yeah. Also, we're not going to be here in 3 days.
Yeah.
There's also that aspect.
Maybe the kid will make it out. That would be nice.
That's nice.
Well, the messages got out, so that's
the messages are out, hopefully.
Yeah.
However, I will also note that they did flash a message to the South Tower.
Yeah.
They didn't respond either. And Malin Arin thinks if I was going to try to attack, I would try to sneak behind and take out the southern towers first, so that messages don't get passed back to Chachin to like the capital.
So where are the messengers going?
Well, so they would go to the next tower south, and if not, they will ride all the way back to Chachin to the capital if needed to, like, warn the capital that there's a huge Trolloc invasion happening right now.
Right now.
Right now.
Shit. It'd be really helpful if we had some channelers.
And some soldiers.
And anything.
Rand, maybe.
Anyone.
Some, other...
Is this where Rand's gonna be, where Fain's gonna meet him?
No, Fain's in the Blight.
No, I know.
They're
Maybe
very
it's close to
specifically
here, though.
not in the Blight.
They are really
They're on
close.
the border of it.
They're
Fain's in the
very
middle
close.
of the Blight.
He probably can transport so fast.
How
I just
is
said.
Rand going to come here? Because the one
Rand
kid on a
also
horse...
is going to learn about it and go.
Okay.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just trying, you know?
I
anyway,
get it. You know, okay. All right. Very heartwarming scene. The boy gets the
Oh, it's
sword.
lovely.
He does the pledges.
Yeah.
When do you stop watching?
Never.
Right? We're going to fight till the end.
It's kind of mirrored in the White Cloak thing, to be honest.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You know, there's similarities.
When do we surrender? Never. Like, it's a whole thing.
It
like,
is.
It's like we just got that with Galad, and then here we have it with this kid.
Yeah. And I like it. I really do like the ceremony. It's kind of like the last stand for these guys against the Shadow. And they're doing their part in this gigantic story to fight against the Shadow.
Okay.
So we got to give it to them.
And then we find out that there's something in the clouds. And another calls out, it's Drakkar.
And it's like, if you haven't thought about those guys for a while, well...
They are weird and gross.
Everything's getting pulled out
and
in this...
we're not quite sure what they look like, because I can't picture it at all.
Vampires with wings. Bats with wings. Overgrown bats with pale red lips, and they're going to kiss you.
Ew. See, I just can't picture it, but it's gross.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's bad.
Okay.
Endless Sea of Trollocs approaching. It's their duty to kill as many as they can, but it's really not going to matter, and hopefully the messages get to where they need to go.
That's basically what they're going to do. And we get this description in this chapter of the tower itself and how the entire thing is constructed to be a death trap to whatever attacks it. And it's very reminiscent of when we got to see Faldara and how everything in the Borderlands is all about killing Trollocs and fighting off the bad guys. It's a lot of world building in this one perspective.
Yeah.
I really like it.
Yeah. And hopefully they can do some good.
Some good. You know what?
And
okay.
I gotta hand it. Good prologue.
Great prologue. Fantastic.
I liked it.
Yes. Very exciting.
Other than the weird Perrin dream.
Sure. You know what? Sure.
That was weird.
Okay.
I didn't quite understand what was going on.
Gotta ease you back into the Perrin
You know what? And I was having flashbacks to the first couple books where if you're confused, it's a dream sequence.
Right.
That was like literally from the first book. It's like, are you confused while you're reading? Yes. Then it's a dream sequence.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, plan for this book. We're mostly going to tackle it 2 chapters at a time.
Oh, really?
So chapter 1 and 2 are together, 3 and 4, 5 is separate. I've posted on the Discord, but for the most part...
So I can read chapters 1 and 2.
Yeah. Yep, you can. Let's get into it. Let's go do this. Towers of Midnight.
Okay. I'm so excited. Okay, but before we go, you forgot to do a shot for the beacons.
Right.
The beacons are lit. The messengers are out.
They're doing their best.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Pre-poured.
Yeah.
We did it because of the magic of editing.
Right.
Yep. That'll do it.
Okay.
All right. Well, before you go marching through a gross swamp just to be betrayed, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted and edited by Dani and Brett, produced by Dani and Brett with Passion Socks, Cody Feltz, Benjamin, Jamie Young, Megan, Jared Berg, Ricky Morissette, Lance Barden, Adam, Mozyme, Michelle Forbes, MKM, Antoine Benoit, Lawrence Bradley, Colby T, Gabby Young, Rycat, and Zane Sayaka. With music by Audionautics. Everyone, go ahead and be sure to check out our Patreon page if you are interested in supporting us and the podcast. We'd love to send you some Patreon exclusive merchandise as a thank you. Plus, you'll gain access to our episodes earlier than everyone else. And at the time of this recording, we have over 40 bonus episodes for your listening pleasure. So you can find all that and more at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and information like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, and how to get in touch with us, visit thewheelweavespodcast.com. And as always, please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference in helping other people find us. And make sure to tell a friend, Riyadh, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening, everyone. This really is part of the pattern now.